USL Game of the Week every week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Chick-fil-A Richmond is a proud partner of your Richmond Kickers. With 19 restaurants in the greater Richmond area, we invite you to make a goal to eat more chicken. From swim lessons to after-school care, the Y is committed to building each person's spirit, mind, and body. We're a nonprofit organization open to everyone and committed to social responsibility. The YMCA of Greater Richmond, make your health a priority.
Hello and welcome to City Stadium for this matchup between the Richmond Kickers and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. I'm Taylor Rockwell giving you the play-by-play. Doing the color, we've got a new voice this evening. It's Matthew Delicott, Richmond Kickers legend. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
So what are you looking for this evening between these two teams?
I think both teams haven't won in a few games, and it's a really big game. I mean, Tampa Bay are going to want to push on and lock in their playoff spot and get home field advantage, and the Kickers really need to get 3 points and start getting on a roll here.
All right, well, let's take a look at those Kickers for just a second here. We're going to start with some star players on the evening. For the Richmond Kickers, the goals have been few and far between. One man who can help spark that attack this evening is going to be Sonny Jane. We can see him on the screen there. He brings that spark and energy to the team. Do you think he's capable of kind of driving some goals, getting some attack going?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's got a great left foot. He's very dangerous. You know, if he's in a wide place, he's going to whip the ball into the box, and he can score from distance. So definitely looking for him to get on the score sheet tonight and set some goals up.
And for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, it's going to be number 10 playing on the right wing, Georgi Hristov. 6 goals on the season, their leading scorer. He's got the tattoos. Obviously, he's got the goal-scoring ability as well.
Yeah, just good. Kickers have to really watch out and just be pretty savvy on defense and shut him down, not let him get any opportunities.
Well, let's take a look at those Richmond Kickers who are going to be trying to do just that. Who have we got starting for the Kickers tonight?
So we got Matt Turner in goals on loan from New England Revolution. Anchoring the defense, we got Milan Roberts and Connor Shinosky, the skipper. Out on the right, Alex Lee, Braden Troyer on the left, and then we got holding Christopher Durkin with Uday Amura. And then Sonny Jane playing the number 10 role. And we got Raul Gonzalez, Luis Fernando out on the wings. And then up top by himself, Anthony Grant.
There we are. Matching that formation exactly is Tampa Bay with a 4-2-3-1. We got Matt Pickens in goal. Luke Bowden at left back, Neil Collins and Damian Lowe in the middle, Darnell King out on the right side. As your two holding midfielders, Marcel Schaefer, who last week played left back, today defensive midfield alongside Keith Savage, Leo Fernandez, Joe Cole, Georgi Hristov, and Martin Peterson starting up top in that 4-2-3-1. So we will be right back for kickoff. First, a little bit of a break.
Presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
How can an elephant go undercover to ensure great customer service? Well, it goes a little something like this. I carefully prepare my disguise.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a tow truck on the way to you right now.
I approach with the utmost subtlety.
Absolutely.
I observe undetected.
Repairs include a lifetime guarantee.
And slip away without a trace.
What?
When my customers are happy, I'm happy. And when I'm happy...
More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com.
At CBS 6 News, we aren't confined by 4 walls. Our office is out here, in our community. CBS 6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back to City Stadium. We are waiting for that whistle to get us going. Teams are on the field. They've had their final pregame huddles. Everything looks ready to go. And we are underway. Richmond Kickers going from right to left. Tampa Bay heading from left to right. Tampa Bay looking long early, intercepted by Milan Roberts, put out. It's going to be a throw-in relatively deep territory for Tampa Bay. We'll see if that directness from the opening is going to be their plan overall in this game, as Joe Cole settles, drops back into midfield there, and spread out wide to the left back.
It's going to be important for the kickers to get a good start here, try and get possession of the ball, get control of the game. The first goal is going to be very important today.
And so do you think that means it's a little bit more slow possession, try to kind of build the momentum early, or do you think they're going to try to go at Tampa Bay, be aggressive from the start?
When you're playing at home, it's all out attack, and they're going to high press. They're going to try and get some chances on goal and get an early goal for sure.
Well, it looks like Tampa Bay being aggressive here with that ball, winning the ball back was Fernandez, dropping it all the way back to defense. Damian Lowe now on the ball. Looks like Tampa Bay are going to be happy to collect the ball, settle, and possess, and then look long once again. Looked like a little bit of a jab maybe in the back there from Connor Shinosky, a little bit of jostling, and it will be a free kick for the Richmond Kickers.
Yeah, that's good strength there from Connor. He's just got to hold his man off and make sure he wins the ball. And also, you notice Chris and Udai doing a great job of coming in to get the second balls.
So you've obviously had many of those aerial challenges of your own. How important do you think it is to kind of dominate that matchup early, just to kind of establish a little bit of physical presence there?
Yeah, the first few challenges are very important. You definitely want to show some dominance. Winning the first ball is very good, and obviously the second balls are just as important.
As we get a replay here of that foul on Anthony Grant. Anthony Grant just gets a little bit of a kick there. Free kick given.
Just clipped him. Looks like he maybe twisted his ankle a little bit. Might be a little bit sore, but hopefully he'll run it up and be fine.
Alex Lee now set to take this free kick. Anthony Grant back on his feet, running gingerly, but yeah, it does seem like he'll be good to go. Now it's Raul dropping back. It'll be Raul Gonzalez, takes quickly, finds Uday Omura. Omura spreads wide, but it's headed out of play there. Good defensive work by Tampa Bay. Braden Troyer now does well to meet that ball in the air, but the 50-50 spills back to Savage. One back by the Richmond Kickers. All the way back to Alex Lee now. The Kickers will possess once again. Milan Roberts now on the ball. Looking long, finds Braden Troyer. It's a good through ball. Troyer just can't get to it, out of bounds for a throw-in for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. Just the timing a little bit off. Obviously, when you make the run, you've got to time the run and the ball, so just a little bit off on that one.
But it does seem like maybe the Kickers are going to be looking to send Braden Troyer forward, either to get into the attack or dealing with either Joe Cole if he comes wide or Georgi Christoph there, the leading goal scorer as we talked about earlier.
Yeah, you definitely want your outside backs, joining the attack, especially when you're playing at home. You're going to get a lot of service in the box and cause a lot of chaos.
Braden Troyer causing some problems there as Richmond Kickers win a throw. Settled by Sonny Johnny. Johnny finds Anthony Grant. Anthony Grant with a nice little move there, then is brought down on the follow-through. Damian Lowe, it seems like maybe thought he had made a play on the ball, lost his balance, got Grant in the process. No card it looks like going to be given, but a free kick just outside the box for the Richmond Kickers.
Very close too, because a foul on the line is actually a penalty kick, so it was very close to being on the line.
Yeah, it looks like it was just that left shoulder there of Lowe came down. It did catch Anthony Grant. It seems like he didn't mean it. I'm not sure you can if you're falling onto the ground, but it will be a free kick.
It's definitely a great opportunity here.
Raul Gonzalez now set to take the big bodies in the box for the Kickers, only Braden Troyer back. They're going to try to get something early. Ball delivered into the box at the back post, just goes wide. Connor Shinosky couldn't get the head to it. Instead, it drifts out with no contact. It's going to be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, good whipped in ball there. I think Connor just was a yard ahead of it, so obviously tough to get his head on it.
Similar question to early. When you do have that kind of good opportunity, that free kick, you get Connor Shinosky in the box. Is it hard to shake it off when you miss that first chance?
No, I think anytime you miss a chance, as long as you're getting chances, that's a positive. So they're just going to keep pushing on and hopefully keep getting some more.
Matt Pickens boots that ball long. No one too inclined to it. Instead, Chris Durkin gets it, falls back. Now Durkin with the ball, drops it all the way back to the center back, Milan Roberts, who does well. A little bit of skill there, splits two defenders, but can't find his man, and it's out of bounds. Good shepherding work there by Keith Savage, although I think the referee disagrees, as instead it's going to be a throw-in for Richmond. Tampa Bay might not agree with that one, but it won't matter because the throw's been taken. Good work there from Damian Lowe to find Darnell King. Darnell King drives forward. It's a crowded right sideline there. maybe trying to spread it out just a little bit, both teams, because we're starting to get those numbers shifting in, and it'll be another throw in for the kickers.
Typically, when you get a bunch of players on the sideline like that, you're just looking for it to hit the center mid and switch the point of attack very quickly.
It does seem like it's been a little bit of a sloppy game so far. Joe Cole does well there with the ball. Braden Troyer does well to intercept. Do you think that has anything to do with the field conditions? We did have that big downpour, lots of thunder, lots of lightning. Do you think that's going to make playing conditions a little bit unfavorable for both teams?
It might be a little bit slippery, but typically it's better to have a wet field because you can move the ball nice and quickly. It skips off the surface a little bit better, so it might actually help move the ball and make the game a little bit faster, I think. Just usually when you start the game, it might be a little bit sloppy, and once things settle down, I think the quality will improve a lot.
There we are. Well, Tampa Bay, hoping the quality of the officiating improves, not too pleased with that decision. Did look like it took a deflection on the way out of bounds. Referee sees otherwise, and it will be a goal kick for the kickers. Matt Turner takes, and we're back underway. Again, another ball not dealt with in the air, eventually dealt with by Neil Collins, boots it up. It's another 50-50 challenge, eventually brought down and settled by Tampa Bay. Georgi Christoph on the ball now. Seemed like he was maybe thinking Joe Cole was going to finish that run. Joe Cole held up, so instead it's the Richmond kickers back on the ball. Connor Shinosky now under pressure, looking long, it looks like for Sonny Jane. Instead, it's one again, but it will be a throw in near midfield for the kickers. It seems like it's been a pretty back-and-forth game in terms of booting the ball long and then that ball coming right back. You think it's maybe just a sign people don't want to be caught in possession too early?
Yeah, you certainly want to be safe early on. You definitely don't want to give up an early goal. So obviously knocking the ball long and getting it into their half and pressing a little bit is an effective way to start the game. So I think as the game goes on, we'll settle down a little bit.
Will be a throw in now for Tampa Bay, taken by Fernandez, who drops it back for Luke Bowden. Bowden on the ball again, finds Fernandez. Fernandez drops it back. Schaefer's pass intercepted by Sonny Jane. Johnny again looking long, has Anthony Grant in space. Tampa Bay across to cover. Good work there by Damian Lowe to break the play up a little bit and instead force the throw in for the kickers, but some nice defensive cover there and a good long ball in for the kickers. Anthony Grant, I think, was in a little bit of space, had found a gap. Tampa Bay did well to cut that out.
Yeah, Anthony Grant has that pace, so if you get a chance with him one-on-one, they're definitely going to look for that ball over the top. Let him have a race with the defender.
Now we've got the big bodies in the box again. Looks like it's going to be a long throw from Raul Gonzalez. Throw delivered, looking for Connor Shinosky. Instead it spills. It looks like there was maybe a little bit of contact, a little bit of shove in the back, and it will be a free kick coming out for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, anytime you can get the ball in the box, I mean, it could bounce anywhere, score a lot of goals from some scrappy goals, especially when you're struggling to score goals and win games. You're better off get it in the box and you get a lucky bounce and you get a goal. So.
And in those situations, do you think it's just kind of back to goal, Connor Shinosky looking for the flick or looking to hold it up, or do you think they're ever looking to kind of score directly off that corner?
Typically, you just want the first guy to flick it on, and then you're hoping guys are gambling in behind, just trying to get something on the end of it.
Goal kick taken. Connor Shinosky jostling there again, but instead it's going to be Alex Lee who intercepts, drops to Udayamura, who drops to Milan Roberts. Roberts again under pressure. It seems like some nice high pressure from Tampa Bay, causing some problems for that Richmond kickers back line. But kickers doing well to win it back. Udayamura plays wide to Alex Lee. Chris Durkin now on the ball at midfield. Does well to calmly turn, play the ball out wide to Milan Roberts. Roberts takes it forward a little bit. Now Luis Fernando on the ball with a little bit of skill. Good, clever bit of play there. Gonzalez at the top of the box. It looked like he was trying to find Anthony Grant. Instead, that ball cleared out by Tampa Bay, but Milan Roberts will collect and keep possession for the kickers. Do you think, given the humidity, given the heat we're seeing today, do you think Tampa Bay can keep up this press, can keep up that high kind of stretch where they're sending Joe Cole and Martin Peterson forward?
Yeah, typically you might go out for the first 15-20 minutes with that type of game plan, knowing that maybe you'll close out the half and just sit back in a little bit. So like you said, it's very tough to continue that type of work rate for 90 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how long they go for it.
Well, in the meantime, Anthony Grant battling again at midfield. Udayamura collects the ball now. Looks like there might have been some contact. Referee says play on. Richmond kickers happy to oblige. Luis Fernando looked like trying to find the ball in the back. Instead, it falls to Braden Troyer. Troyer collects, look for that cross. Again, that was blocked. Again, good pressure from Tampa.
Yeah, unlucky there. Good play from is that Luis?
Yeah, Luis Fernando does well there. Good.
Yeah, just trying to get the ball into the back post. You've seen those drop in several times.
Tampa Bay, I think, sending those numbers over, trying to shut down that creativity, but make sure they don't overcommit. Don't want to concede any free kicks. Obviously, don't want to concede any penalties. So you're getting the physicality and just enough to cause problems. Although Luis Fernando himself almost caused a problem there for Tampa Bay.
Did, yeah. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into the USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XMFC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Good work there from Martin Peterson. Does well to win the ball off. Now we've got Richmond kickers under pressure. Peterson back on the ball, squares it, finds Fernandez. Fernandez, that shot was deflected and it will spill out wide for a corner. Peterson again smart with winning the ball back, smart with finding an open player, smart to let that ball go out of bounds, and it's going to be a corner now for Tampa Bay. Their first, I believe, of the game, which is why we're seeing the big bodies in the box for Tampa Bay for the first time in this game. So when you were playing Delhi, what were you looking to do in the box on a corner like this? Are you trying to create separation early? Are you trying to jostle in the middle? Or are you just trying to beat your man and get a little bit of a shot in?
Yeah, you're just trying to shake your defender, and all you need is half a yard to put something on frame. So obviously defensively, you don't want to let your man win the first ball, so the first and second ball defensively. But yeah, when we're attacking, you're just trying to shake your guy and get a little touch on it, put it on frame or put it across the box.
In the meantime, it looks like Damian Lowe down on the ground there with an injury. That ball came in. I think maybe he just took a knock. Maybe it was a head-to-head collision there. Either way, it's going to be another corner for Tampa Bay. You get a replay here of that last corner, what might have happened there. Ball delivered by Leo Fernandez. I think maybe the trailing forearm of Anthony Grant might have caught Damian Lowe on the head. I think that's why we see him down. Getting treatment, he will have to step off, but it seems like he'll be good to go.
Yeah, good touch from Anthony. Important touch. If he misses that, they get the ball in a great position. So good concentration there from Anthony Grant.
Leo Fernandez again to take this corner for Tampa Bay. Drifted from the right to the left to do so. Looks like ball's been delivered. Seemed like the referee had called a stoppage and then let play continue. I think the kicker's happy with that outcome. Luis Fernando now on the ball, going up at the Tampa Bay defense. Tries to find Sonny Jane, instead cleared very well by Darnell King.
Yeah, they're good opportunities if Tampa Bay commit numbers forward. You saw 3 or 4 guys breaking forward there. If you can find one of those runs, it's a great opportunity for a counterattack.
And with that counterattack, are you looking to immediately send those fullbacks forward, do you think? Or there is an element of you don't want to get counterattacked on your own counterattack?
Yeah, you're going to have a couple of guys that make runs forward, so you're going to want to try and find the guy that's in the best position. So it's about having that good vision and finding the right player at the right time.
The kicker's doing a good job of that here as Sonny Jane gets the ball off Luis Fernando. Yurei Amuro wide. Fernandez down. Luis Fernando down, but back on his feet to collect the rebounded shot from Sonny Jane. Luis Fernando again does well, but again that ball is cut out. Good defensive work from Joe Cole. Good defensive work from the Richmond kickers to win that ball back. Alex Lee now on the ball. Looked like he was squaring up for a shot, instead finds Luis Fernandez. Luis Fernandez's shot is blocked and eventually cleared by Georgi Christoph.
Yeah, Luis has got a great left foot too. If he gets an opportunity from outside the box, he's going to let it rip. Hopefully get one on target. Great block from the defender there.
Good look there from, I believe, Raul Gonzalez, but couldn't find Sonny Jane. Instead, it will be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Rowdies again having some words with the center official. I think not too pleased about maybe some of the calls he's missed, or at least some of the calls they would say he's missed. Marcel Schaefer having some words now.
No, the kickers would like to get on the scoreboard early when you're playing at home, especially against a team that hasn't won in a few games. Tampa Bay, winless in about 4 games. Getting an early goal would go a long way in getting a win in this game. So I think if Tampa Bay go in at halftime 0-0, they'll be pretty happy because then they'll be looking to walk away with a tie.
Well, we'll see what Sonny Johnny does to make them happy or not happy, as that shot is partially blocked. Will be out. Good deflection there. And good work from Sonny Johnny to drive at that defense. Kickers have been a little too hesitant at times this season, so it looks like they are being a bit more aggressive when they're on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And anytime you get corner kicks or throw-ins in dangerous areas, it's going to be a great opportunity to score a goal. So you guys just have to be hungry in the box. And
Luis Fernandez showing short. Will be played that ball. Plays it back to Raul Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez with the ball into the box. Anthony Grant can't get his head on it cleanly. Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication there. Ball rolls out, shepherded out of bounds by Damian Lowe. Another goal kick to Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
like that's a common refrain today.
both guys going up for the same ball there. Just need a little bit of communication. So one guy challenges and one guy picks up the second ball. When you both go for the same ball, obviously it's just going to run through out of bounds.
The Kickers have been trying a couple different formations, a couple different players, and a couple of different of those formations. Do you think that was, in this situation, players maybe not being as familiar with each other, or do you think that's just early game jitters?
No, I think obviously when you have the defenders come up from the back, it's a little bit different with the chemistry of the front players. So just a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yuda Umura now on the ball for the Kickers. Drops to Connor Shinovsky, the Richmond Kickers captain. Umura takes a tumble there. That is the field conditions we were talking about previously. And instead, Kickers are going to boot it long. Good work there from Darnell King to win that ball, to settle it, and to find Georgi Christoph out wide. Christoph looking for Leo Fernandez at the back post. Overhit just a bit. Fernandez now does well to settle. Maybe it looks like caught Alex Lee with a forearm there. No call given. That ball into the box. Pedersen up, but couldn't win it cleanly. Instead, it will be Keith Savage on the ball. Savage plays wide. Still Luke Bowden. Bowden again looking for a ball into the box there. And well dealt with by Milan Roberts.
It's like a high foot there, but let the play go.
Keith Savage instead gives the ball away. Milan Roberts clears. Back to Tampa Bay at midfield. Ball wide to Luke Bowden now. Tampa Bay, it seems like maybe at times looking long, then at times content to sit back, and then at times looking long again.
It's going to help the Kickers a lot to keep possession of some of these balls. Every time they're pumped in, it seems like Tampa Bay get back on the end of the ball, which makes it very tough. Now you're defending for 4 or 5 minutes in a row, so need to get some possession.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are maybe looking for that long ball. Tampa Bay having more success when they do so, just because you are then kind of consistently forcing the Kickers back. Meantime, we will have a stoppage here. It looks like it's Leo Fernandez on that far side has gone down. Not sure what that injury might be, but he will have the trainers come on.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL.
Both teams, it looks like, going to use this stoppage to get a break, get some water, have a chat here. When you have these stoppages of play, Deli, is Lee Kalishaw, Richmond Kickers head coach, is he giving specific instructions to specific players? Is he just trying to reinforce the overall game plan?
He's definitely trying to reinforce the game plan. He may be tweaking a couple of things and ask a couple of players to change what they're doing slightly. And obviously getting some hydration is pretty nice on these hot, humid nights. And it's very tough for those guys out there.
And is Lee the type of coach who is going to let you know during the game? Is he going to let you know what you're doing right and wrong? Does he make a lot of in-game adjustments, or does he kind of leave it to the players to figure it out?
Well, when the players have been together for a long time, they know many systems to play, and so there's been many times where he just changes it on the fly and he'll shout it out, and guys will adjust quickly during the run of play. So that's definitely something, if he sees fit, that they can do.
And we talked about how the Kickers need to establish possession a bit more. What do you think they can do? What adjustments do you think they might be able to make to just try to slow this game down a little bit, not be having to play defensive for the stretches?
Yes, especially when Tampa Bay's playing these long balls in, and if we can pick up the second balls and Richmond can find like the target forward and hold the ball up a little bit and maintain possession, is going to help a lot. It's very tough when you're playing on these humid nights. If you're running and chasing after the ball a lot, makes it very tough. So they're just going to need to try and pick up some of these second balls.
Absolutely. Well, Leo Fernandez back on his feet now. It looks like will not be able to continue, however. I do think we will have a change for Tampa Bay. My guess would be that it's going to be Darwin Jones. It looks like he's the one who's getting those final instructions. But it's got to be a loss for Leo Fernandez and for Tampa Bay to have to make that change this early in the game.
Yeah, obviously very rare to make substitutions in the first half unless it's for an injury, so maybe change their game plan slightly.
And when this substitution happens, which it looks like it will, that substitution will be presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. Kickers now with the ball. Luis Fernandez again doing well with that little bit of trickery. But instead, Collins comes across, does well. Those Tampa Bay center backs so far doing a very good job of shutting down any attacking options Tampa Bay might have had. And we will now have that change. It will be Darwin Jones coming on for Tampa Bay. A premature exit for Leo Fernandez. And again, this substitution presented by Elephant Auto Insurance.
Number 7, Jones on. Number 11, Fernandez off for the Rowdies.
And it looks like we might have a shift here. It looks like Georgi Hristov might have shifted over to that left-hand side, and then Darwin Jones will come in and play as that kind of right-sided attacker. Connor Shinosky now on the ball for the Kickers, finds Alex Lee. Alex Lee picks his head up, tries to go long. Instead, that ball is blocked by Hristov, and it will be a throw in for the Richmond Kickers right in front of their bench.
Yeah, this game could be a great opportunity for the Kickers to turn it around. They're only 6 points off a playoff spot, even though they're close to the bottom of the table right now. So you're looking for a good turning point in the season, and this is definitely a game that can make that happen.
Malone Roberts there with a good ball to Braden Troyer. Good running by Luis Fernandez, who's taken down outside of the box, and it will be a free kick. Again, just outside the area. We might have our first booking here. Referee will have a conversation with Damian Lowe. No booking given as of yet, but Luis Fernandez still down. Did take a bit of a clatter there. As we get a replay here of that foul. Good reverse pass there from Braden Troyer. Luis Fernando, I think, just, takes that little touch. Maybe that put off Damian Lowe, or maybe Lowe just really wanted to establish dominance.
It's great play from good awareness from Luis. He knew he was coming flying in, so just got that little touch on it and took one for the team there.
Looks like he is back on his feet. Will be good to go, Luis Fernando. And it will be Raul Gonzalez once again taking this set piece from just outside the box. At a difficult angle, you got to imagine it's probably not going to be a shot, maybe more so a cross.
Yeah, you'd expect so.
Ball delivered in there, but headed clear. And then Darwin Jones does well to put it all the way out. Chased down by Yudai Omura, who drops to Braden Troyer. Troyer, the furthest player deep for the Richmond Kickers. Looks long for Anthony Grant, but instead well dealt with by Damian Lowe. Braden Troyer again on the ball. I think just trying to settle, maybe not so worried about keeping that ball in play as much as making sure nothing gets in behind, and gets the ball back for his efforts.
Yeah, going back to that free kick, really important that you miss the first defender out to give the guys a chance in the box to get on the end of it.
And so in that situation, as that ball goes out of bounds, it will be a throw-in for Tampa Bay. Do you think there is frustration there when that ball doesn't clear the first defender, that you've gone all the way up, that you've kind of blown an opportunity?
Yeah, obviously the free kick take is frustrated, and the guys in the box are, because it's immediately just shutting down an opportunity. So you've got to either get a guy in front of him to put him off, or you've got to make sure you get it over his head.
This is why you get paid the big bucks, Deli. Another good win from Braden Troyer. Darwin Jones collects now. And good defensive work there from Troyer to win that 50-50 challenge. Finds Sonny Johnny. Johnny back to Udai Omura. Omura under pressure from Joe Cole. Again, that Tampa pressure causing problems. And again, Richmond Kickers forced into a long ball, collected by Damian Lowe, played back in, and headed into the feet of Sonny Johnny by Chris Durkin. Johnny now on the ball, plays to Durkin. Durkin looking long for Raul Gonzalez, who I think the defense thought it might be offside, and now it looks like that offside call will be given. I think they were waiting for maybe Raul Gonzalez to make contact with the ball before the flag went up.
Yeah, he also had Alex Lee overlapping behind, so maybe if he dropped off, Alex Lee could have possibly gotten on the end of the ball there.
Again, just a little bit of a miscommunication there from the Richmond Kickers, but something that they're obviously going to need to sort out if they want to try to get that goal, get that lead before halftime. Tampa Bay goalkeeper Matt Pickens to take Sun to the left of him, not in his eyes. I'm sure he's thankful for that. More head tennis there. And instead it's Keith Savage is going to settle. Looks to find his man, but instead it's going to be played out of bounds by Alex Lee. Some good high pressure there from Martin Paterson. Does nice to kind of ride that challenge, put the physical effort in, and forces that corner kick.
Yeah, it was actually a great recovery from Alex Lee to get back goal side, and then it looked like he just got a little shove in the back and was unfortunate to go out for a corner kick.
Looked for a moment like it was going to be Joe Cole trotting over to take it. Instead, Marcel Schaefer will be on the corner.
This is very important to stay tight on these. Definitely do not want to let the road team come in and get a goal from a set piece.
And it is a pretty good atmosphere here, given the weather, given the conditions. You definitely don't want to kind of deflate the crowd by conceding one here, as it's taken. Ooh, good header there from Neil Collins. Looked like he did create that separation, did find himself in some space, but couldn't put that header on frame. See what happened here as we get a replay. Good work there from Collins. It looks like just a little bit of jostling in the box. Loses Milan Roberts. I think gets a hip check there, but instead Collins not able to turn that one on frame.
Yeah, may have just done enough defensively. Sometimes just a little shoulder, a little bump does enough to stop them getting it on target. So good strong header though.
Milan Roberts again there, defensively heading that one out. Luis Fernandez able to get the ball. And now with Braden Troyer to take this throw in for the kickers. Luis Fernando on the ball. Dispossessed there. Good defensive work by Damian Lowe, but put under pressure immediately, and Braden Troyer wins the ball back, and it will be another throw-in for the kickers. Anthony Grant now can't quite settle it with that good first touch, instead puts it out, and now it's a throw-in for Tampa Bay. Joe Cole drops deep, but good read there by Raul Gonzalez. Good calm work from Marcel Schaefer to win that ball back, find his man out wide, and now Christoph's on the ball. Georgi Christoph drives in, plays the ball into the feet of Pedersen. Pedersen does well to hold up, finds his man Tampa Bay again, possessing just a little bit more, maybe not quite so direct, instead working it around from left to right here. Ball played wide to Darnell King. King drops back to Damian Lowe. And now the kickers slowly push forward, try to put him under pressure, but also don't want to risk kind of creating space in the middle, leaving a man unmarked.
Yeah, you can see the kickers have dropped off in their own half now. They're happy to let Tampa Bay have the ball, swing it around the back, as long as they're not hurting them going forward. So trying to keep their shape here and win the ball back.
As they've just done. Chris Durkin now in for Anthony Grant. It's going to be a foot race. Grant's on it, tussling with Damian Lowe. Damian Lowe, it seems like, gets the better of that duel, and in the end draws the foul. It looks like maybe Grant came through the back of Damian Lowe. The Red Army there hoping it was going to be a penalty, but I think it was always going to be coming out instead of heading in.
Yeah, it's a great strength from the defender here to get his body in there, and then obviously Anthony clips him once the defender got position on him.
Yeah, Damian Lowe does well to cut across, has that height advantage, maybe has a little bit more reach, able to step across Anthony Grant, and that's always going to necessitate, I think, a foul if you're going to try to get to that ball.
Yeah, it's one of those when Anthony gets the ball, he's trying. If he tries to take his touch across the defender towards the goal, sometimes you can block them off. That time the defender was very strong and got position on him, so was unable to get his shot off.
We've also had the first officiating flag substitution I think I've ever seen at City Stadium. It looked like the far sideline official had to switch out the flag, but now we're back underway. 50-50 challenge there, ends in a free kick for the Richmond Kickers. Not sure Joe Cole's too thrilled about that decision. Looks like, though, he was whistled for a foul on Chris Durkin. Doesn't seem fair. I think Joe Cole might literally be twice Chris Durkin's age. I don't know if he's allowed to foul him in the air there.
Yeah, and a lot of experience. He's won the Premier League. He's played in the Champions League. He's played for his country. So I'm sure it's great for his teammates to have someone with that experience. And I'm sure that the Kickers are loving playing against somebody of that caliber.
Absolutely, we'll see what he can do, but right now he is far removed as Tampa Bay work the ball around their back line. Collins finds Luke Bowden. Bowden now trying to maybe get a little bit of separation. Instead, it's good work from Raul Gonzalez. Concedes the throw-in, but doesn't let that counterattack or that break down that left-hand channel work. Tampa Bay throw-in, and it will be Luke Bowden playing it long. It's going to be another throw, and they're just working their way down the field like 20 yards at a time for Tampa Bay. Bowden finds Christoph there. Georgi Christoph plays it in for Joe Cole. Then it spreads wide here, and we're back on the ball is Darnell King. Darnell King now driving at Luis Fernando, but does well to drop off. Tampa Bay with good possession here. Joe Cole looking for that through ball, finds Freestoff. Freestoff slows it up just a little bit. It seems like the kickers don't want to come out of that defensive shell. Tampa Bay forced into spreading the ball wide, and it's a good headed win there by Braden Troyer, who's now going to try to keep the ball in play, or keep possession, excuse me, for the Richmond kickers. Anthony Grant now battling with Darwin Jones there. Jones finds Joe Cole. Joe Cole out left to Luke Bowden. Joji Freestoff, Tampa Bay's leading goal scorer in this situation, trying to play assist maker as he finds Joe Cole. But good defensive work from Connor Shinosky, pokes it out, and it's going to be a throw-in for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's a good run in there. Connor's obviously had to follow. Usually you don't want your centre-backs tracking too far away from the centre of the field, so nice deep run and getting in behind there.
And we are still seeing the kickers sitting back a little bit, sitting back like on their side of midfield. It seems like they don't want to give up any gaps. Do you think that's working so far, or do you think Tampa Bay are starting to find their way through?
I think they've done a good job. I mean, I don't think Matt Turner's had to do much in goal yet, so that means the kickers are doing something right defensively. Obviously now we're 30 minutes into the game, so maybe the kickers are going to sit back a little bit more. But obviously at some point they want to generate some offense too, so I'd like to see them get the ball into Anthony Grant's feet a little bit. He really stepped in as a great forward last year and stepped up, really improved his hold-up play. So that's one of the things. I think if they can find his feet and hold the ball up, it's going to really help.
Will be a corner kick taken here by Joji Freestoff. One man not on the field is Damian Lowe. It seems like he's gone off to get some treatment, so he will not be involved in this play, but we'll let you know when he re-enters the field of play. Instead, Joji Freestoff now looks short for a moment, but instead will play the ball into the box. Flicked on, Chris Durkin looks like maybe got a head to it, and it's Anthony Grant now collects. Not much comes of that, but we do have Damian Lowe re-entering the field of play. So there's that for Tampa Bay fans. Durkin now on the ball, finds Braden Troyer, who's immediately put under pressure, drops back to Chris Durkin. Durkin looks long, but instead drops to Connor Shinosky. Shinosky finds Sonny Johnny. Johnny again under pressure. Think he was looking for Luis Fernando, but instead it will go to Braden Troyer, who then finds Luis Fernando.
Yeah, I think the ball took a little bit of a bobble there, so not his fault, definitely the field.
Udai Omura now on the ball at the top of the box, spreads wide to Sonny Johnny. Johnny, as you said, can take a shot from distance and will do, but instead it's blocked. And then dealt with strongly by Darnell King, puts that ball out of bounds. A good kind of definitive clearance there from Darnell King.
Yeah, Sonny just trying to get an opening to get a shot off. So far it's been pretty tough to find a way through. On both ends, all the shots seem to get blocked.
Also seems like it's been a bit of a foul fest so far in the first 33 minutes or so. It will be a free kick for Tampa Bay right near midfield. I think just another little high elbow, a little bit of contact that maybe the official thought didn't need to happen. So it's a free kick for Tampa Bay. Bowden and Collins trading passes. Joe Cole drops deep, and I think that has been a problem for Tampa Bay. From what I've heard from their announcers last week, Joe Cole, they want him to be staying forward, but he keeps having to come back to try to link up play a little bit. I think that's something Tampa Bay won't be too thrilled to be seeing this early in the game.
Yes, well, with the kickers playing two defensive centre mids, it's going to be tough for him to find any space in there. So obviously he wants to get on the ball. So in order to do that, he's going to have to either drop in there or he's going to have to make runs through behind them.
He's made a pretty good run here as Keith Savage is now on the ball, finds Joe Cole with a return pass. Will spill to Martin Peterson, but he is deemed to be offside. But that was some nice combination work there. Joe Cole does well to get that ball, get forward. Unfortunately for Tampa Bay fans, Peterson just a little bit into an offside spot. And now free kick for the Richmond Kickers. Free kick taken quickly, finds Chris Durkin. Chris Durkin possesses, not much on for him. Drops to Connor Shinosky. Connor Shinosky looking for Alex Lee, who will keep that ball in bounds. Drives forward, feels the footsteps of Joji Freestoff, drives that ball forward, and now it's going to be a throw-in for the Richmond Kickers to be taken by Raul Gonzalez. Sonny Johnny finds Chris Durkin. Chris Durkin, I think the lone teenager on the field, but you wouldn't know it based on his performances so far and from what we've seen from him this season.
No, Chris is a fantastic player. Obviously, being out here as a teenager, a professional, is probably what many youngsters dream of. So he's got great things ahead of him. Plays for the men's the U17 national team. He's captain of the team. So it's a great to be watching him out here with the Richmond Kickers.
Durkin now tries to find Braden Troyer. Troyer drops to Udai Umura at the top of the box to Anthony Grant. Will go to Luis Fernando, who gets that shot, but it's just over the bar. Good take there from Luis Fernando. Shapes up well, but maybe just leans back a little bit there at the end and puts it over for a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, it's set up perfectly for his left foot there. I think he hit it just how he wanted to, just needed to be a yard or two down.
But we're starting to see that pattern for the Richmond Kickers as we get a replay here of Udai Umura doing a good job to collect that ball and consistently looking across the top of the box to an open man. In this situation, it then falls for Luis Fernando. But no goal, no shot on target either for the Kickers.
Yeah, obviously, got to hit the target to score goals.
Is that important? I never knew.
Yeah. Put it on frame and good things will happen.
Chris Durkin again there collects it. I'm not sure if he meant to do that, but he ends up collecting. Plays to Connor Shinosky to Milan Roberts. Sonny Jane, as we talked about with Joe Cole, also having to drop deep a little bit to try to link up with those center backs. Luis Fernando does well there, rides that challenge, maintains possession, drops it back, and again the Kickers, I think, content to slow it down just a little bit here as we get into the final few moments here of the first half. Udai Umura tries to find Anthony Grant. Anthony Grant couldn't win that one and looked to have been in an offside position when that ball was played. But good direct play there from Udai Umura.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC channel 85. Also, don't forget SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
It looked like Damian Lowe, who did miss that last corner kick for Tampa Bay, was getting treatment. It looks like he was also getting a new jersey. If you're wondering why there's a man on the field with no number, it's because Damian Lowe had to change him out. Matt Turner now plays back to Chris Durkin, who shows deep. Durkin looking wide for Braden Troyer, but that ball cut out, so instead drops back to Connor Shinosky. Shinosky now drives forward, in as much as a center back ever drives forward, and finds Chris Durkin. Durkin drops back to Milan Roberts. And you are seeing that kind of fluidity there of players checking in for the Richmond Kickers and checking out just to maybe try to pull some Tampa Bay players out of that shape.
Yeah, obviously with a few minutes left in the half, they want to possess the ball, try and get another couple of opportunities. It's obviously vital not to concede right before the half.
Big collision there. Looks like Luis Fernando there again, resulting from it. Excuse me, Alex Lee took that challenge. Gets up, has a word with the center official. Doesn't seem to have been too thrilled by yet another physical challenge that sees him knocked to the ground.
I think that's a couple of times Alex has been hit in the head now, so he's obviously a very passionate player. Wants the referee to protect him, so I'm not sure if there's anything there.
Richmond Kickers head coach Lee Kalishaw not too thrilled by that. We see the replay here. Alex Lee goes up, yeah, and it looks like just that forearm from Luke Bowden is what people aren't too thrilled with. Obviously, when you go up in the air, you're going to have those arms out just to, kind of create a little bit of a cushion there. Maybe he had him out just a little bit too much. Yeah,
obviously, I think when you jump, it's natural to get your arms out. I don't think there was any malintent, but obviously taking an elbow to the face is not pleasant.
So I've heard. I imagine you have priors with that one. You've had your scraps in the box, I'd say.
Yeah, I've had a few stitches over the years from some of these USL defenders, for sure.
I'm looking. No visible signs, so I think you're good. Kickers again possessing. Shinosky finds. Looks like Raul Gonzalez dropping in a little bit. Alex Lee still off the field, still getting treatment. Sonny Jane now out on the left channel for Luis Fernando. Holds up, doesn't have much support, but will play that ball into the box. Finds Udai Umura at the back post, but it's over. It looks like he just couldn't get his feet set. Maybe didn't see that ball coming until the last minute, and it will be a corner for Tampa Bay, or excuse me, a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, great ball from Luis here. He got Udai trailing late at the back post. It's one of those where all the pace is on the ball. He just wants to try and redirect it, probably back to the far side. So definitely a tough header, but if he can get something on target, it'd be very tough for the goalkeeper to save it.
But yeah, I think maybe it was just a little overhit there. Udai Umura tried to adjust his run, couldn't quite do so, and instead it will be Tampa Bay now back in possession, having taken that goal kick.
Good from the Kickers to be creating chances. Obviously now they've got to start hitting the target.
Good aggressive play there from Tampa Bay. Joe Cole gets the ball placed to Luke Bowden, who drives forward. Big tackle though, and it will be a Richmond Kickers throw in. Seems like no one in too much of a rush to get this back under play. Alex Lee still out. Richmond Kickers therefore playing with 10 men, so maybe just trying to buy a little bit of time to get that treatment finalized before this throw-in will be taken.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Throw-in now for Tampa Bay. Alex Lee still getting treatment. Looks like maybe got a bit of a knock there. No bandages, though, that I can see from here. But you have to wonder with him being out this long if maybe there was a little bit of blood drawn.
Yeah, I'm sure for him to go out like that, definitely took a knock, so hopefully he's going to be fine.
Another big challenge there, and we will have our first booking. Looks like it will be Luke Bowden going into the book there for that challenge on Anthony Grant. I'm not sure if that was for that challenge in particular or if it was just kind of an accumulation of fouls over the course of this first half.
Yeah, good heads-up play from Anthony, you know, winning the second ball, knew it was coming, drew the foul. I think at some point the referee obviously has to give the booking to control the game.
We get a replay here of that challenge. Anthony Grant, yeah, I think it's just the kind of aggressive, little bit studs-up tackle from Luke Bowden. I think just a little bit reckless there. That's why you see that booking. Kickers now will try to get something going with a little less than 4 minutes remaining plus extra time. I suppose injury time is what they call it on your side of the pond.
Yes, although I've been here so long, I think I'm used to the American terms now.
You've gotten used to overtime?
Yeah, I do say it. They call me a Yank when I go back to the UK.
Oh yeah. I think that accent would beg to differ, but all right. Tampa Bay now on the ball. Neil Collins spreading wide to Luke Bowden. Now on a yellow card. We'll have to be careful for the rest of this game. Joe Cole drops back in again. Holding the ball, looks for that big switch. Instead, swings it around to Damian Lowe. Lowe looks long into the feet. Eventually spilling to Darnell King. King now on the ball. Looks for that ball into the box, but Milan Roberts is there to head clear. Luis Fernando, I think, tried to keep it in bounds, but instead succeeds in getting it to Tampa Bay, and it's a poke-through tackle there. I'm not sure anyone knew that Darwin Jones was lurking, but does well just to get a toe to it, but can't get much power behind it, and it's cleanly taken, calmly taken by Matt Turner. Good work there from Darwin Jones just to hold off that challenge, to scrap in the box, to collect that loose one, and then get that toe to it.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to poke it to the back post, but Matt spread it very well. Obviously got in the end of it there.
Milan Roberts again in possession, finds Chris Durkin at midfield, finds Alex Lee, who is back on the field. Does look like he might have a little bit of a bandage on the side of his head. And it's another strong challenge from Keith Savage. Lets Chris Durkin know he's there, puts that ball out of bounds. Good physical play from Keith Savage, the holding midfielder for Tampa Bay. Sonny John held up, pulled back by Savage. We might have our second booking of the game. Savage will get a talking to and will get a yellow card for that. I'm going to say cynical pullback on Sonny John.
Yeah, I think he knew if Sonny gets through there, Sonny's going to be driving at the goal, looking to get a shot off or slip somebody in. So somewhat of a smart foul, but obviously it's a straight yellow card.
Sonny John might have maybe sold it just a little bit, but I think anytime you can feel both hands grabbing you, you kind of know that you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely not. There's definitely a rugby tackle there.
Final minute of regulation here in the first half. Richmond Kickers sending the big bodies forward again. Braden Troyer again deep for the Kickers. This free kick again to be taken by Raul Gonzalez. Alex Lee makes the short run, but instead it's delivered in and headed clear by Damian Lowe. Alex Lee back on the ball now, tries to find Anthony Grant. Anthony Grant in a physical battle with Luke Bowden, who puts that ball out, collected by Sonny Johne. And it's another challenge there. Looks like it will have gone off. Alex Lee will be a throw-in for Tampa Bay just in front of their bench.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com. Follow them on Twitter at USL.
Savage now on the ball as we have 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Plenty of time for both teams to make something happen. Darwin Jones tried to turn there. Luis Fernando with a good poke tackle. Jones now back on the ball, under pressure from Braden Troyer and Luis Fernando. Jones still on the ball, gets his third kickers player coming in and then drops it back. Ball now with Collins, the center back, spreads wide to Luke Bowden. Bowden gets some good support there from Georgi Christoph, who finds Joe Cole. Joe Cole under consistent pressure from Udai Omura in this first half. The kickers really don't want to let that Tampa Bay playmaker have any time on the ball.
No, and obviously him dropping back is probably a good thing for Richmond. Don't want him getting the ball in and around the box. That's where he's going to cause a lot of havoc.
Savage now finds Darnell King, back to Savage. Anthony Grant puts him under pressure. Looked like Savage was trying to find Darwin Jones, but instead finds Chris Durkin. Udai Omura under pressure. Plays to Braden Troyer. Troyer looking up the line for Luis Fernando with a clever little touch, but Tampa Bay back on the ball. King finds Georgi Christoph, drops to Savage. Savage keeps possession, felt the oncoming rush of Anthony Grant. Did well there to keep that ball in possession for Tampa Bay. And now it's Darwin Jones again. Looking for players for his teammates at the top of the box. Can't find anybody holding it up. And then finds wide Luke Bowden. Bowden plays that ball into the box. Calmly taken by Matt Turner there. He had Pedersen waiting. Did well to intercept that ball, cut it out, and hold on to that ball cleanly.
Yeah, it's a great left-footed ball in there. Very dangerous. Someone makes a near-post run. Good hands from Matt Turner. Good read.
And that is the big difference. Braden Troyer on the left-hand side for the Richmond Kickers, right-footed. So he's always going to have to cut that ball back to get that ball into the box, whereas it looks like Luke Bowden has got a pretty deadly left foot. It looks like he's going to be a big problem for the Kickers, who are now on the attack. Anthony Grant near the corner flag. Sonny Jane can't hold that ball up. Tampa Bay will once again possess. Nice bit of skill there from it looked like Joe Cole to try to keep that ball in bounds. I think just had gone out, but good, clever bit of work there from Joe Cole, the Chelsea legend, as you mentioned. Do you go Chelsea legend? You don't go with any of the other many clubs? I think he leads with Chelsea, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, obviously won the Premier League titles there, and he went to a couple of the high-profile clubs, but Chelsea's the one that obviously stands out.
Sonny Johnny there looked to have found Anthony Grant in an onside position. Assistant referee would disagree. Anthony Grant offside even after he put that ball in. He's not too pleased, but it did look like he was maybe just a touch offside.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Anthony's instructions are tonight. I'd like to see him stay a bit more central, stay more, in the box. He's been making a lot of runs out to the wings, but obviously he's the lone target striker, so we want to get him in the box into goal-scoring position. So I'd rather see some of those wide guys getting the ball into Anthony in the box to score.
Well, we shall see what happens in the second half. First half done here at City Stadium with the score 0-0 between the Richmond Kickers and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We will be back with a little bit of chat, but before we do, Deli, you mentioned Anthony Grant. Any other things you think need to be changed for the Richmond Kickers when they come out for the second half?
I think once again they've put on a very solid defensive effort. Obviously, I don't think either keepers have had much to do, so they're just going to have to come out and find a way to get some good service in and find a way to get some of these shots on target.
That makes sense. Well, we'll be back with you on the other side after this halftime break.
That's our Summerfest right here at City Stadium next Saturday night.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You guys all get one, right?
Oh. CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
I'm gonna leave.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
At CBS 6 News, we aren't confined by four walls. Our office is out here in our community. CBS 6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back to City Stadium. The ball kids for today's game are sponsored by Saxon Shoes. Getting some high fives there from Kickaroo. That might be their highlight of the first half. Not much on offering on the field. I'm Taylor Rockwell, joined by Richmond Kickers. I'm gonna go back to legend. I'm gonna say legend, Matthew Delicott. Deli, what'd you think of that first half?
I think obviously Richmond would like to come out and score an early goal. Going in at 0-0 is fine. That they'll tweak the game plan and figure out how they can come away with 3 points here.
So let's look at the teams individually. We'll start with Tampa Bay. What do you think was working for Tampa Bay in that first half? What do you think are some things that they might need to change up based on what we saw in those opening 45?
Yeah, I mean, they've had some good spells of possession. Obviously, Joe Cole's been dropping deep to find the ball, so I think they're going to want to get him the ball kind of higher up the field in and around the box. So I'm sure they're going to try and find a way to get him in those pockets. And again, like the Kickers, I don't think they had many shots on target.
As we get some highlights here of that first half action. So we talked a little bit about Tampa Bay, maybe Joe Cole dropping too much. What can you do against kind of a bunkered opponent? Because it does seem that the Kickers are sitting back, kind of inviting those Tampa Bay attacks and then maybe looking to counter. So what can Tampa do?
Yeah, you just have to have some good dynamic movement and some interchange of the front players and move people around. And then, there was one deep run that they made into the box and found the ball. So just a little bit of interchange and moving the ball nice and quickly, and then hopefully, that's what they're trying to do is find them in and around the box.
And for the Richmond Kickers, who, as we see here, did have some chances, Azudai Omura just can't get that one on frame. What do you think they can change up to get more opportunities, to get a little more of the ball in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, they've had some shots from distance, and they've had a couple of very dangerous free kicks. They definitely want to try and capitalize on some of these free kicks in and around the box and the corner kicks, try and get something on frame. And then obviously they've had some good success coming down the left here, getting some balls across. I think I'd like to see Alex Lee get into the attack a little bit more, try and get some crosses in, and I'd like to see Anthony Grant, stay a bit more central and have Sonny in and around, working off Anthony in and around the box where they need to be to score goals.
So you've done the same job that Anthony Grant is doing now. You've been, I'm assuming, the lone target man at times. How frustrating is it in those moments where you do kind of want to drift to one side or the other, you do want to drop back a little bit, knowing that you need to stay high, you need to kind of put that pressure on the back line?
Yeah, I think Anthony's making runs to try and get the ball in wide positions, and he put a good cross in there. But at the end of the day, I didn't like making those runs because you want to be the person on the end of the cross.
Yep.
So that's what I was saying. Is when I played with Lee, he told me just try and stay, within the lines of the box. I never really had to go outside there. So it was my job to be in there and score goals. So I would like to see him have that confidence and that ability to put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, one thing that's going to help with that is if the Kickers can get a little bit more possession. But Tampa Bay have done a pretty good job, it seems, of putting them under pressure. Kind of consistent pressure, both when the center backs are on the ball, when the midfielders are on the ball, obviously when Anthony Grant gets it. What do you think the Kickers can do to evade that pressure a little bit more, just get a little bit more time on the ball without having another opponent right there?
I think it would be nice to see Sonny get on the ball in and around the box and take a couple more shots. Obviously, if they don't put good pressure on, he's going to be able to get a good strike on goal, and that will hopefully kind of bring the defense out a little bit and open up some spaces for some little combinations. Saw one little combination here where Louise had a great strike just over the goal, so that's what you're looking for in and around the box.
All right, well, lots to look out for. We'll be back for more first half chat, maybe looking ahead to the second half in just a few moments.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch. That'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
It was a fairy tale USL debut fit for a king. Fit for the king, Didier Drogba. Drogba's debut was the highlight of another strong attendance weekend for the USL. Week 12 drew over 87,000 fans, bringing total league attendance so far this season over the 750,000 mark. Drogba made his presence known early on in front of a sold-out crowd at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, but it wasn't until the 40th minute the man everyone had been waiting to see found the back of the net off an Amadou Dia cross. But he wasn't done. In the 77th minute, Drogba drew two defenders and slipped a pass to former Chelsea teammate Sean Wright-Phillips for a familiar far post strike. That goal would serve to be the game winner. Over 7,000 fans were there to witness history for the USL and to witness the King make his mark on the game, having a part in both goals to lead Phoenix Rising FC to the 2-1 win over Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
Oh. CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
I'm gonna lean on love when I cross the line, standing high above the
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Richmond. You can see lovely downtown Richmond there. That was before the storm came in. That storm was about two hours long, and now pretty skies here. Mr. Matthew Delicott. I'm Taylor Rockwell, joined by, as I said, Matthew Delicott. Deli, we're getting set for this this second half. Richmond Kickers back on the field. We talked a little bit about how difficult it might be with these temperatures. It didn't occur to me at the time that Richmond Kickers are playing Tampa Bay, known for humidity there. So which team do you think might have the harder time in the second half dealing with the temperature, with the playing conditions?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's cooled off a little bit. So I think whenever I played, I always remember that we look forward to coming out for the second half because the sun's gone down, the temperature drops a few degrees. So I don't think the heat's going to play a factor really for the second half. So it's just going to be really a case of who's going to step up and score some goals.
There we are. Well, we've got some first half stats for you. These stats presented by GRTC. I think the telling things there would be shots, both teams getting shots, but neither team really able to do much in terms of getting shots on target. Only one for Rochester. Rochester also leading the way in terms of fouls, 8-3, and yellow cards, 2 cards there for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, like you said, the telling one there is shots on goal. So they're going to really concentrate here on getting some quality service in and getting some decent shots on frame.
And what do you think either team can do to get a better amount of shots on target? Do you think it's basically taking them from closer up, trying to buy a little bit more time, being a little bit more patient, or is it just maybe a lack of just a little bit of technical ability there in the final third?
I think obviously the chemistry having in the final third. I think they've had some decent half looks that maybe could have done a little bit better with in getting them on frame. Mm-hmm. So it's just really a matter of concentration and then having that hunger and that desire to score a goal.
Absolutely. Well, it seems like the Richmond Kickers have the desire to get this second half underway. Tampa Bay, it seems like, still making some adjustments, have not yet reemerged from the locker room. So what do you think we might see from the Richmond Kickers to start this second half? Do you think we're going to get a little bit more aggression in there? Do you think it's going to be more of an effort on slowing down possession? Or do you think they're going to really try to look to get something in those first 10 or 15 minutes?
I would definitely expect them to come out pretty fired up, looking for a goal. So I think it'd be interesting to see if they go high pressing. I don't think they necessarily went out high pressing in the first half, which was a little surprising. So I think the next 5-10 minutes they're going to high press.
I'm with you. Well, Tampa Bay still not with us. Richmond Kickers have broken their huddle. Lee Calishaw has made his halftime adjustments. Seems like we'll go with the same 11 that left the field. But we talked a little bit about off-air at halftime, just about what Lee Calishaw is like in that locker room at halftime. It doesn't seem like he has too much to be upset with, but is he going to be the guy who gets in people's faces a little bit, or is it going to be a little bit more calm, structured instructions?
No, he's definitely calm. He's going to tell the guys what they need to do. He's obviously going to try and reinforce the good things, and he's going to try and figure out what they need to do to win the game. So there was very rare occurrences where he would be pretty angry at halftime. Even games where we had played really poorly, he would come in and try and stay pretty calm and try and solve the problem, essentially.
Lee Calishaw, also in case you're wondering, viewers, has not aged in 20 years, I think. I think I first saw Calishaw when I was like 12. Still looks the same. I do not, I hope. My beard is slightly larger nowadays. Tampa Bay have made their way onto the field. Looks like we're just a couple minutes away from the start of the second half here at City Stadium. What do you think we might see from Tampa Bay? Do you think we'll see Joe Cole maybe staying a little bit farther forward? And if so, do you think that means that back line for Tampa Bay is going to kind of have to push up a bit more to fill that space?
Yeah, I mean, I think the longer the game stays 0-0 is going to be better for Tampa. That worst case scenario, they get out of here with a 0-0 tie and a point, and obviously if they can sneak a late goal, that's going to be ideal for them. So I think they're obviously going to want to pick up the 3 points, but I think they're obviously going to be pretty cautious and not conceding.
Mm-hmm. As we talked about a little bit in that first half, Tampa Bay have struggled on the road this season and in seasons past, so I think you're absolutely right. If it finishes 0-0, they won't be too upset. I think it will be the kickers who will be more disappointed by that result.
Yeah, definitely. The kickers, you know, they need something to kickstart the season here. 3 points against the second-place team can certainly do that. Like we said at the beginning, I think they're only about 6 points off a playoff spot, so a couple of wins in a row, and they're right back in the mix. So this could be a great opportunity for them.
We are underway. Second half is underway. Chris Durkin gets the kickoff and boots it long. Well dealt with there by Luke Bowden. Falls to Sonny Johnny. Johnny drops back to Milan Roberts. And it does seem like maybe Chris Durkin sitting a little bit deep to start the second half, but the kickers being a little bit more aggressive with the rest of the players going forward.
Yeah, we might try and push Uday on a little bit more with Sonny and Anthony and have Chris hold.
Darnell King there won that ball, played it into the feet of Marcel Schaefer, gets it back, now with the feet of Darwin Jones. Jones back to King. King tries to boot long to try to find Georgi Hristov. Doesn't, but instead draws the foul there. Georgi Hristov got an arm in the back and is down now. Seems like it might have just been a quick little knock, and he's back on his feet, Georgi Hristov. Always the goal threat for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Hristov with 6 goals this season, so obviously definitely a threat. Playing out on the right there, just Braden's got to do a good job and not let him get behind into goal scoring positions.
Troyer there on that replay did give a little bit of an arm in the back. Did better to deal with it there, but it looks like we're going to have a corner for Tampa Bay right in front of the Red Army. I'm sure they will be very hospitable hosts, as it looks like it's going to be Schaefer drifting over to take this corner. Schaefer started at left back last week for Tampa Bay, delivered the killer assist for Tampa Bay's first and only goal in that game, that 1-1 draw. So we know he can play a deadly ball from open play. Let's see what he can do from a set piece.
Yeah, I'm sure the Red Army are doing their best to put this guy off. Saying some nice things to him over there.
I'm sure, yeah, just all positive. You can do it. I'm sure it's a lot of good instructions there. Ball delivered, fighting Sonny Johnny at the top of the box. And now the Richmond kickers will look to break. Luis Fernando on the ball. Obviously has a little bit of pace, so too does Anthony Grant, who collects that ball out wide on the left. Holds up play. Looks like he lost his footing just a little bit. And Damian Lowe does well to hold up the ball, played the ball back, gets put under pressure. But good transition work from the Richmond kickers there and good defensive work from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Looks like Anthony just lost his footing there, so lost possession. Another good opportunity for a counterattack.
Darwin Jones now into the feet of Georgi Hristov, but instead it will be a Richmond kickers throw-in. And it looks like, at least for the time being, Joe Cole has shifted over to the right-hand side. Hristov has come more central. We'll see if that continues to be the case as the second half progresses. Savage now looks for Pedersen. Instead, it's intercepted by Milan Roberts. Drops it back to Matt Turner, who's put under big pressure and is able to get that ball clear.
Good strength there from Milan to hold off the defender, the attacker there.
Nice bit of skill from Sonny Johnny, but good defensive work from Tampa Bay to have that second defender come in. And now we've got Darwin Jones on the left-hand side, collects the ball in a 1v1 situation with Alex Lee. Does well to get around him, but can't get that shot on frame. Doesn't look like it took a deflection, so it's the always negative situation when you are a goal scorer of putting a shot out for a throw-in.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to obviously hit it as hard as he can and just kind of sliced it and out for a throw it went.
You would never do that, right? Never in your career did a shot go out for a throw?
Well, a lot of the shots I took were inside the box, so I was not usually in that position to do that.
Well, I would find a way to do that, so maybe that's the key difference between the two of us. That's the only one, I think. Alex Lee now on the ball, finds Raul Gonzalez, but Collins really does well to get across, put that ball out, not let anything build too much, and it's going to be a throw-in from deep in Tampa Bay territory. Nice work there from Collins. He and Damian Lowe have done a really good job, too, when they've had to come out wide. I know you talked about how you don't necessarily want your center backs doing that, but they've done well to limit opportunities out in the channels for the kickers.
Yeah, they have. They've followed Anthony, too, so they've made it tough for him tonight to get any openings. See if he can find some space in the box to get some opportunities on goal.
Throw-in taken, drop back, and now it's Chris Durkin. Picks his head up, tries to get around his defender. Hristov just puts him under pressure, and instead it's Connor Shinovsky at the back post, but puts that header just over the bar. Good work from Chris Durkin there to get to the end line to put that back across. Shinovsky just can't put it on frame.
Yeah, it's a great play here. Wonderful ball from Chris Durkin. Connor Shinovsky got up, just tried to redirect it to the back post. just couldn't quite get it to dip under the crossbar. Best opportunity of the match so far for the kickers to go 1-0 up.
It seems like he maybe went directional there as opposed to trying to get power behind that ball. Is that kind of what you have to do when you're backpedaling a little bit, maybe when you don't have that forward momentum you need?
Yeah, especially being that close to the goal, you're just trying to redirect the ball on goal, and then, you know, sometimes you get unlucky and might hit it at the keeper, but most of the time, if you redirect it on target, it's going to go in the back of the net.
Well, no love there for the Richmond kickers, who now have the throw in. Uday Omura collects, finds Luis Fernando. Fernando on a run, played in by Senny Jane, and again, good defensive work there from Tampa Bay. Damian Lowe again across, does well to get low, win that ball, put it out of bounds, but not concede any sort of free kick, not have any contact there.
Yeah, kickers getting into some better positions now. Definitely want to try and capitalize on some of these opportunities and put the ball in the back of the net here.
Braden Troyer able to find Senny Jane. His ball across, out of bounds. Didn't really have much to aim for there. Anthony Grant was at the near post, but there wasn't much else. So it will instead be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, just slice it out a little bit. Just obviously, even if you hit it off the defender, you win a corner kick, and that's what you're trying to do. So a little bit unfortunate.
Matt Pickens thought about going short, but some good work, good awareness from Anthony Grant and from Raul Gonzalez forces Tampa Bay into putting this one long. Georgi Hristov up, and again it takes a body in the back. It will be another throw in for Tampa. No call there. I think Hristov wasn't too thrilled about that one, but referee didn't see enough to award the free kick, and now Tampa Bay have the ball in possession on that far side of the field. Bit of swarming pressure from both sides. Tampa Bay eventually come away with the ball. Neil Collins now spreads wide to Luke Bowden, who have eventual pressure there from Raul Gonzalez, who I think just doesn't want to let him play back, and instead he looks long. Alex Lee, it seems like maybe took a hit, and Uday Omura able to collect the ball, drops to Milan Roberts. Roberts finds Omura again. Omura able to turn, has a little bit of time in midfield, plays wide to Alex Lee. Richmond kickers able to get a little bit more possession here in the start of the second half so far.
You can see Uday's pushing on a little bit higher, trying to get on the ball.
Good ball in there from Chris Durkin, looking for Anthony Grant. Couldn't find it, but Senny Jane able to collect a loose ball. Richmond kickers recycling now, keeping possession, trying to pull Tampa Bay out just a little bit. Uday Omura now drops wide for Braden Troyer, who cuts it back onto that right foot, plays it in, finds Gonzalez, spills to Luis Fernando, and once again, Richmond kickers able to collect the ball. Good work there from Braden Troyer, finds Gonzalez to Fernando. Oh, Luis Fernando couldn't get the shot off, I think, just had to slow it up a little bit, and instead that shot was blocked and put out off of Luis Fernando for a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but you can see they're getting into great positions now. Luis finding space in the box, trying to get one on target.
Seems like maybe he was just waiting for it to come across so he could get it onto that left foot.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That little extra bit of time cost
Definitely
him.
trying to get it onto his favorable left foot, and defender doing a great job to slide in and again stop a shot on target.
And again, Tampa Bay will look long. Braden Troyer does well to win that one, but it really is a battle of who can pick up the ball after that first ball. Both teams doing okay on those 50-50 challenges, but it seems like Tampa are more than content to get that ball back in their defense and then look long, and then try to work it down slowly with throw-ins as they get another one right in front of their own bench.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Another long ball there, Braden Troyer battling, able to win that one. Chris Durkin collects cleanly, plays wide to Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando plays it, tries to play it off the Tampa Bay defender, but instead concedes possession. Now Tampa Bay on a bit of a break here down that right-hand side. Patterson fed the ball. Milan Roberts across to try to mark, but instead it's a ball into the box. Nobody deals with it cleanly, and now it will be Hristov able to collect. Hristov looking, had Schaefer there. Instead, it looked like tried to find Darwin Jones, but that ball was cut out. I think Schaefer's going to have a word or two with his teammate there, who was pretty open in that box, but the ball never came. Good work there again from Pedersen. Milan Roberts maybe put under pressure just a little bit, felt those footsteps from Darwin Jones, didn't take it cleanly, played it back, and now it will be a corner kick for the Rowdies.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward ball there for Milan, and Matt's coming out to support, obviously headed at the back and out for a corner kick here.
And again, it's Schaefer drifts across to take that corner in front of the Red Army. Can't have been too thrilled there about that missed opportunity. We'll see what he can do here. He puts the ball in, aiming for that back post. Headed clear by Alex Lee. Headed back in by Tampa Bay. Headed clear by Milan Roberts, and Tampa Bay will try to possess here, but Sonny Johnny puts under pressure, and now the ball drops all the way back to Darnell King. King looks for the big switch. Finds Damian Lowe at the back post. Instead, Collins wins it, but it wouldn't have mattered, even if it went out of bounds, as both players looks like we're offside there. Deli, obviously you've had a long relationship with the Richmond Kickers and a long relationship with the fans here at Richmond and that Red Army. How much of a boost is it to have pretty good crowds out here and to have that vocal Red Army?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, the past few years, these guys have gotten behind the team, and it's been fantastic. The atmosphere has been great. You know, having 8,000 fans here for the home opener, it's just been fantastic. The Red Army behind the guys, and even right now, you know, being close to the bottom of the table, they do not falter. They've been fantastic.
They have Luis Fernando now on the ball, trying to find his man in the box, but instead cut out there. Really nice work there from, it looks like Damian Lowe again comes across to cut that one out, because the Kickers had 3 personnel in the box. But another good break there and another good opportunity for the Kickers, resulting in a corner kick.
Yeah, good strong whipped in ball there from Luis.
Get a replay here. Luis Fernando driving with the ball forward, picks his man out, plays that low ball and can always cause problems there. Damian Lowe decisively deals with it. If he hesitates just a little bit, it can cause problems. It can allow players to adjust, so he does well to put it out.
Very important touch there. Just a little touch from a Richmond kicker, and it's in the back of the net.
Well, Gonzalez with that ball into the box. Headed clear by Collins. Was under pressure, and now it's Yudai Omura collects. Drops to Alex Lee. Alex Lee thought about playing it in. It cuts inside, has that shot from distance, puts it on frame, but it's calmly taken by Matt Pickens. Alex Lee immediately back into position. Good work there from Pickens, good positioning, good tracking it the whole way, and collects it with not much fuss.
Yeah, you see Alex Lee cuts inside here. It's not left-footed, so not a bad strike, and I've seen those deflected too and go in the back of the net, so definitely a positive sign. We're getting some shots on target now.
And Alex Lee was the recipient of a couple different elbows, a couple different knocks in that first half. Do you think an element of that intensity going forward was maybe, I want to show these guys what's up, I want to try to make something happen?
Well, I know Alex pretty well, and he used to tell me back in college he actually used to play as a forward, although I haven't seen him score many goals. So I think he fancies himself when he gets into those positions. Obviously, cutting in on his left foot is going to be a little bit tougher, but I think he thinks he has the capability to put the ball in the back of the net.
We have a collision there right in front of the Richmond Kickers box. It was Damian Lowe down, Lowe back on his feet. Richmond Kickers head coach Lee Calishaw not too thrilled about the challenge there. I think maybe Calishaw thought there might have been a little bit of acting there, but it seems like maybe Lowe just landed awkwardly, did take a little bit of a nudge as he was in the air.
Yeah, it's one of those, if one guy goes up and the other guy tries to hold his ground, you know, someone's going to hit the deck pretty hard.
And it was Anthony Grant on the deck, as Tampa Bay were able to win that ball back and play clear. Good defensive work there. Nice header from Milan Roberts to play in for Connor Shinosky. Shinosky plays to Yudai Omura, who's dropped deep. Again, a little bit more defensive work there from Yudai Omura. Now we saw him a little bit further forward to start the half, but now he's dropping deep to help try to get the ball off the center backs, maintain possession, and move it forward. As Raul Gonzalez does the same, drops back, finds Milan Roberts, who plays back to Raul Gonzalez. A late challenge there from Damian Lowe. Maybe we'll get another talking to here. It seems like there's been a bit of an altercation. Anthony Grant not pleased with the physicality there, maybe not pleased with the words that were exchanged afterwards, but needs to keep his head calm, needs to be the one to kind of walk away, I think, for the Richmond Kickers, as we see Sonny Johnny still down off camera. We'll get a replay here of what just happened. I think Anthony Grant maybe just not pleased. You can see him gesturing 3, maybe not pleased by the number of times. There have been those little tackles from behind, a little bit too physical for Tampa Bay, at least according to Anthony Grant.
Yeah, I think obviously Anthony's sticking up for his buddy there. You know, times are going to get a little bit chippy, especially when 3 points are so vital, so you can see the emotions coming out.
And I understand getting frustrated trying to defend your teammates, but it did seem like Damian Lowe was about to get a talking to, maybe get a booking. But I think then, and we do finally see that booking now, I was wondering if maybe the official had just gotten distracted by that scrum, but instead you will have the booking for that foul on Sonny Jane by Damian Lowe.
Yeah, it's well done from the referee there.
Yeah, I definitely would have forgotten, and then maybe tried to card him like 10 minutes later when I remembered. And while we get set to take the free kick here, we'll look again at the off-the-ball incident. Referee calls Lowe across, but then we see it looks like maybe Anthony Grant was just coming across and Collins stepped into his path. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but there was then that collision. I think both players thinking the other one intended ill intent, and that's where the commotion occurred.
Another opportunity here for the kickers to get the ball into the box. Looks like the referee's also having a word with Anthony over there.
Seems like Anthony Grant and maybe Damian Lowe still having some words off the ball. Anthony Grant gets a talking to. I'm assuming that's just sort of a, hey, calm it down, one more, and then you're going to go in the book. Luis Fernando plays it short, and it looks like it rolls all the way out without making any contact. It will be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, not a bad idea there. Typically, it's a right-footed taker there, like an in-swinging shot, and it looked like they changed it up last minute. Obviously confused the defenders too, because the ball rolled all the way through. So that's where you just, on the offensive side, just try and have to anticipate where the ball might end up and try and get a touch on it.
You had that decoy run. Is the goal there just maybe to pull out one or two defenders and create a mismatch in the box?
Yeah, I know they obviously have a couple of set plays. Maybe that was one that didn't quite work out as planned.
Patterson now there, booked for the collision at midfield. He wasn't too thrilled with that one. The kickers take that free kick quickly. Darnell King will try to shepherd this one into touch, and I think does so just barely, but no flag goes up, so play will continue. Joe Cole now drops in, wins that ball, put under pressure, plays up the line to Patterson. Patterson held back by Milan Roberts, and I think the referee just didn't have that angle. That seems like it should have been a foul, maybe even a booking for that pullback from Milan. The referee didn't have the angle, so missed that one. I'm sure Tampa Bay fans will be none too thrilled.
Yeah, I think sometimes the fourth official can even step in and help the referee out there, and he would have had a perfect view of it, so he obviously didn't see anything either.
I think the Tampa Bay coaching staff all saw something. They were all up on their feet. The fourth official now having a word with them as Uday Omura plays that ball long. Well intercepted by Hristov. Drops forward. Luke Bowden. Bowden now driving forward. Tries to find Joe Cole, but Braden Troyer is there, cuts across and heads that one out. Chris Durkin now dispossessed. Darwin Jones drives the ball. Some sloppy play there from the kickers. A good step by Connor Shinosky, and it will be a free kick at the top of the box. Connor Shinosky, I think, not going to be too pleased with that one. Looked to have gotten the ball, but I think referee disagrees, and referee did have position there to make that call.
Yeah, maybe tough there on Connor. It looked like he definitely got a piece of the ball, and then just obviously a little bit of contact afterwards. Looked a little bit harsh.
We'll get a replay here of that incident. Chris Durkin dispossessed. And it looks maybe like even if maybe Shinosky gets the ball but also gets the man and kind of standing him up. I'm not sure if I agree with that decision. How say you, Deli?
No, I don't agree with it. I think you can see he actually gets the ball first and then it rebounds off the attacker's leg. So I think, Connor's a bit hard done by there.
But instead it will be a free kick for Tampa Bay in a very dangerous position. Now, is this close enough that it's going to be difficult to get it up and down? Do you think they're just going to try to go for power here, or do you think they've got enough distance away from that 18-yard box to be able to get it up and down over that wall?
There's definitely some players that can get it up and down.
Shot taken, and it's a goal for Tampa Bay. Looks like it was a deflected free kick there for Tampa Bay. Richmond kickers are going to be not too happy with that one. Didn't think it should have been a foul, didn't think it should have been a free kick, but instead it will be a goal for Tampa Bay.
There's another example, getting a shot on target, and it's deflected and left Matt Turner with no chance.
We talked about it earlier with that Sonny Jane, or the Alex Lee shot from distance. You can always cause problems here. Marcel Schaefer goes for power, gets it off the wall. Looks like it would have been on frame, so it looks like he will get credit for it. Nothing Matt Turner can do about that one, and it's 1-0 to Tampa Bay, who, as we said, have struggled to get the results on the road. So you've got to imagine now they're going to be happy. They're going to be much more compact than they've been in this game.
Yeah, they've got their goal, and now the kickers are going to have to definitely take some chances to get back in this game, being 1-0 down.
And I think they're going to do just that. The Richmond Kickers are going to make their first change. It will be Anthony Grant coming off, and it looks like it will be the debutant Frank Teyu coming on for the Richmond Kickers. Teyu signed earlier this week, had a pretty lengthy career in indoor, played USL last season with San Antonio, and now will make his Kickers debut and hope to get the Kickers back level here at City Stadium. Pedersen now. That substitution presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. Thank you to my for my color commentator for reminding me of that. Tampa Bay now with the ball. Keith Savage dispossessed, but Schaefer there collects the ball, plays back wide to Darnell King. Darnell King looking to kind of play that penetrating ball to Pedersen. Instead, it looks like it's going to be another free kick, another foul there by Pedersen, who has more words with the official. I think he's been frustrated by the amount of calls that have gone against him, at least in this second half. With that substitution by Lee Kalishaw, do you think that was trying to get a little bit more offense, but maybe also not being pleased by kind of how intense, how angry Anthony Grant was? Maybe that's we need to calm it down a little bit and get some new faces in there.
No, I definitely don't think Lee wants people to calm down. I think he wants people out there with that passion and hunger and desire. I think it's just a case of we got a new signing, a new forward, and we're going to give him an opportunity to get on the score sheet and get the team back in the game.
So why do you think then that he went with? It seems like it's still going to be that lone striker. Why not keep Grant on, take off maybe a midfielder, and try to get kind of a little bit more combination up top?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think he's going to be pretty pleased with what he's seen in the second half so far, creating opportunities. So I don't think he's going to necessarily want to change the system too much, and I think he's just going to try and get a new forward in the box to try and get into goal-scoring positions.
The Kickers now on the ball. Milan Roberts finds Raul Gonzalez, who's a little bit more inside, drops it back to Milan Roberts. Tampa Bay doing a good job with that bunker defense. Richmond Kickers trying to play through. Sonny Johnny now does some good combination link up. Gonzalez into the feet of Frank Teyu, the newbie. But it looks like instead it's going to be called back for a free kick. Maybe referee tried to play advantage, didn't see much developing there, so it's going to be a free kick from a relatively similar position, maybe a little bit further left, but it's a handball about 23 yards from goal. We'll get a replay here. Nice little combination there from the Kickers players. That ball chipped up, and yeah, it is just off the left hand of Darnell King.
You can see another very dangerous position here, so a great opportunity to get the Kickers back into the game at 1-1.
The same question as last time. Do you try to get this one up and over, or do you just try to put power behind it and see what happens?
Yeah, I think he, because of the angle here, I think he might try and hit one over the wall right into the near post. Obviously trying to get it dip under the crossbar.
That's Yudai Omura and Raul Gonzalez standing over it. Raul Gonzalez scored his first goal for the Richmond Kickers off of a set piece. We'll see if he can do the same here, but first, looks like a little more jostling in the box. The referee wants to cut that out. And here, if you're the forward, if you're not taking that free kick, are you just trying to maybe wrong foot your defender a little bit? Or are you trying to cause chaos?
Yeah, you're hoping there might be a rebound, and
free kick taken and blocked. Looks like he went for a similar approach of hitting it off the wall, but this one didn't work quite so well.
No,
sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. I think he was trying to get that up and over. Obviously didn't quite work out. And yeah, you're just trying to, maybe it hits the crossbar, hits the keeper, come out for a rebound. You're just trying to get on the end of it.
Braden Troyer takes that throw. Kicker's not able to hold possession. Ball to Georgi Christoph. Georgi Christoph plays wide to Luke Bowden. Bowden looking up, doesn't have much, so boots long forward. Connor Shinosky will let that ball roll out of bounds. I think Tampa Bay just trying not to get caught in possession, happy to boot that ball and make the Kickers try to play out from their own defensive third.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Pedersen there with another foul. Did reach all the way around Alex Lee, did from our vantage point, which was not very far away, throw him to the ground. Now a little bit more jostling there. Referee, we'll see what happens here, but it's definitely the situation where I think maybe either you book one or you book both just to try to calm things down, because it does seem like there's a lot of frustration brewing between these two players.
Yeah, you can see he's having a little chat there, just trying to get him to calm down.
See here, so here's that pressure from Pedersen. It's a shove in the back from Alex Lee. Then he gets a little knock to the head. And then Pedersen, I think, frustrated. I'm not sure why he was frustrated there, but does throw Alex Lee to the ground. Then we have a little bit of a confrontation afterwards. I think Alex Lee might have sold that one a little bit.
Yeah, Alex Lee milking that one, definitely.
Substitution for the kickers.
I'm sure the boys will give him a bit of stick in the locker room after the game for that one.
Meanwhile, we have a substitution for the Richmond Kickers. It's Finley Wyatt coming on, Luis Fernando making way. That substitution presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. I didn't even need Deli this time. Connor Shinosky now plays wide to Alex Lee. Lee drops back. Deli, what do you know of Finley Wyatt? What do you expect for him to do coming into this game? Looks like he is going to play in that same left midfield spot where Luis Fernando previously was operating.
Yeah, obviously, Kickers are down a goal now, so he's going to try and get himself into good positions to get some service. And if the ball's coming in from the right side, he's going to be expected to be joining in the box to get into goal-scoring positions.
We also know he's got a pretty deadly delivery there, both on set pieces and from open play, so I'm imagining it's trying to get him the ball in a position where he can play it into Frank Teyu, who himself is rather large. Another throw-in for the Richmond Kickers, Braden Troyer on that ball. And what do you make of Luis Fernando's performance in this game? Obviously exiting 1-0 down, but did you think he did okay, or did you think that was a pretty intelligent substitution there from Lee Calishaw?
I think being down a goal, it makes sense to make a couple of changes and get some fresh legs in. I think Luis did some great things. He got himself into some good spots. You know, had put in a great cross in the second half here. Had a shot blocked. So, you know, obviously playing in that position, you want to be coming off the field with a goal and an assist. And you know, another night that might have happened.
We'll see if the Kickers can still try to get a goal and an assist, probably both. With about 20 minutes remaining here at City Stadium, the Richmond Kickers trailing the Tampa Bay Rowdies 1-0. Kickers have made 2 changes so far. Tampa Bay only with the one, that first half change that was necessitated due to injury. Milan Roberts does well there to win that header. Braden Troyer does well to collect. Deli, we were talking a little bit before the game started. I know you spent some time in England, obviously spent some time in Wales as well. Does that make you more excited than you would otherwise be to have Swansea coming to Richmond?
Oh, so yeah, it's fantastic. My dad actually lives near Carmarthen, which is 20 miles away from Swansea. So I went to high school in Wales, and I'm very familiar with Swansea. So it's fantastic to have them come over here and play, you know, the team that I played for my entire career, and in front of our home fans. So really exciting. Last time they were in town, I was unfortunately out due to a surgery. So I managed to get a jersey from Leon Britton, who's number 7. But yeah, unfortunately wasn't able to get on the field against them.
Do you think you might come out of retirement for one game just to rectify that situation?
I was thinking about giving Lee a call and saying, hey, if you need a sub to come on late at the end of the game, I'm available.
You're available to transfer in. My final question then, so does that mean your father is rooting for Swansea or the Kickers in that game? Or like
that's an interesting one. I think at the end of the day he'd probably be rooting for the Kickers for his son, I would imagine.
Do you say that to him with like an eyebrow up, like maybe you support the team for your son, and see how he responds?
He's not actually a huge soccer fan, so I think you know, he's a fan of me.
Well, he might not be a fan of that play. Joe Cole now on the ball. Cole tried to get that shot off, but good defensive work there from Milan Roberts. Really nice work from Joe Cole to really pester Chandler Shinosky into forcing that turnover. Now it's Russell Schaefer plays that ball across for Darwin Jones. Darwin Jones collects, holds up, can't make anything happen. Good pressure there from the Richmond Kickers, and Finley Wyatt eventually wins and plays it out of bounds. But really good pressure from Tampa Bay. Richmond Kickers caught a little bit lazy there. Connor Shinosky almost embarrassed by conceding or leading a play that would lead to a second goal. But
yeah,
instead the Richmond Kickers hang on.
Fantastic sliding tackle to you know, save Matt Turner there. I think he was in a great position to look to slot it far post, and fantastic sliding challenge to block the shot.
Tampa Bay now, I think, happy to slow it down a little bit, force the Kickers forward. As they do so, we'll get a replay of that incident there. Good work from Joe Cole, as I said. Connor Shinosky beaten for pace, but Milan Roberts, great tackle there. Gets that foot across, but doesn't make any contact.
No, yeah, I think with Joe Cole's quality, he's going to slot that into the side netting. So that's a very, very big tackle there from Milan.
Tampa Bay now on the ball. Schaefer drops wide for Bowden. Good bit of combination there from Tampa Bay, just trying to pull the kickers out of position. Seems to be succeeding. George Christoph now playing the ball all the way back to Collins. He's put under slow pressure there from Frank Teyu. Good work there from Frank Teyu, eventually forcing that long ball, which Tampa Bay are able to collect. Good work there from Bowden. Christoph then finds Joe Cole. Joe Cole with a nice run in there for Darwin Jones, but Matt Turner off his line to get that one clear. Could have been a problem there if that Richmond Kickers goalkeeper hadn't made that decision that early.
Yeah, good run across the line there to stay on side, and very good read from Matt Turner to stop the danger.
It looked for a moment like it was going to be a corner kick to the Richmond Kickers, but instead Frank Teyu appeared to have drifted into an offside position, so instead it's a free kick for Tampa.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL.
Tampa Bay take this one. It looks like Fred Owusu-Sekire has been called back from warming up, maybe getting his final instructions. We'll see him in a couple minutes. Looks like he will be the third and final substitution for the Kickers tonight.
Yeah, one of the changes this year is obviously not having 5 substitutes.
Yeah.
Back when I played, we could make 5 changes, so especially on these hot nights, it would make a big difference. So definitely different in managing the game, and you know, it's, makes it tougher now because you know, got guys on the bench that want to come in and score goals, and you can only pick 3 of them. So
definitely makes it easier from a play-by-play standpoint, though. It's 4 fewer players total to have to keep track of. So
yes,
I can appreciate that much, even if the players probably don't. Good defensive work there from Finley Wyatt. Finds Frank Teyu. Frank Teyu tries to be clever, finds Senijane. Good interplay there. Finley Wyatt eventually has a go. Blocked but falls to Udai Amuro. Amuro back out wide to Finley Wyatt. Wyatt again with that left-footed, but can't get much on it. Plays that worm burner, and it's booted clear by Damian Lowe. And now before that throw-in is taken, we will have that change for the Richmond Kickers. Looks like it's Udai Amuro potentially making way. Yep, Udai Amuro will make way for Fred Owusu-Sekire. That's substitution presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. Are you surprised to see Amuro substituted out? He has been the engine for the Kickers in midfield, both in this game and throughout the season.
no, he definitely has been, and he has the ability to create goals from nothing, and he obviously scored a lot of goals last season. I know he's come back from an injury this year. It may be somewhat precautionary. He might be feeling a tight hamstring.
Kickers get a free kick, take it quickly. Raul Gonzalez with the shot, dipping, but well handled there by Pickens. It's always a difficult place for the goalkeeper to have to get down low. That ball can be spilled, the ball can bounce back up, but he does really well to track it the whole way and handle it cleanly.
Yeah, and especially when the ball bounces right in front of you, makes it very tricky. Did very well to hold on to the ball and not give up a rebound here.
Replay here. Nice shot there from Gonzalez, as I said, dips down and well held.
Yeah, you see the little skip right at the end, makes it very tricky for goalkeepers. It's great hands from the keeper there.
Alex Lee now back on the ball. Finds Senijane. Johnny drops back to Alex Lee. To Chris Durkin. Durkin switches it around to Connor Shinovsky. Durkin's done a really good job in this game of kind of doing that that switching role, getting that ball turning, finding other options, maybe alleviating a bit of that pressure now.
Yep, that's exactly why he's in there, to switch the point of attack.
And to make me feel bad about how I haven't accomplished enough for being 32. And he's a teenager starting regularly for a professional team.
Yeah,
he does that too.
Definitely a special kid. So got great things in store for him.
Tampa Bay making a substitution of their own. Looks like it will be Deshaun Brown coming on for Tampa Bay here in just a few moments. Sounds like it will be Deshaun Brown on for Paterson up top. And now we will have that change. It will be Deshaun Brown coming on, Paterson making way. Paterson had a contentious evening on the whole. Some physical battles there, and I think he'll be in no rush to come off, as this substitution, when it eventually happens, is presented by Elephant Auto Insurance. Patterson doing that that familiar like half jog when you don't want to be, when you're being subbed out, you want to just take your time, make sure you're subbed out from the opposite side of the field. And it did seem like he had seen that substitution coming, so he did come over to our side of the field just so he could take as long as possible to get off.
Yeah, just an extra 30 seconds. They're 1-0 up on the road, so every second counts. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Christoph does well to provide the outlet, drops it back, the ball booted long again. Connor Shinosky will let it roll all the way back to Matt Turner. Turner finds Milan Roberts, who's immediately under pressure from Brown. Brown does really well to dispossess Milan Roberts. Roberts back in shape to cut that ball out. A little bit of sloppy play there from Milan Roberts, but good defensive effort because it did look like Deshaun Brown was in on goal had he not have closed that quickly and stepped across that well.
Good recovery to shut it out, not let them have an opportunity.
The kickers now still seem a little bit timid in possession, not quite as direct maybe as they need to be to make something happen here. Scoop ball from Sonny Jane into the feet of Alex Lee. Alex Lee, there was a little bit of contact, but keeps his feet. Looks to play that ball back across the box, but doesn't have much support, so spills all the way back to Connor Shinosky. Shinosky looking at that back post instead, looks to Fred Owusu-Sekire. Owusu-Sekire with time finds Sonny Jane. Jane into the feet of Raul Gonzalez, back to Sonny Jane, and out wide to Finley White. It looks like who's maybe dropped back a little bit more. Braden Troyer maybe getting further forward now. And we'll play that ball in with his left foot. Deflected, falls to Sonny Jane. Johnny's first touch just a little bit too heavy. Instead, Owusu-Sekire with a blast, but that's blocked. And now it's Brown with not much help in terms of teammates, so he'll drive at the Richmond Kickers defense. Thought he maybe had Shinosky beat for pace, but instead Shinosky gets that foot to it. And now it goes to Georgi Christoph, who drops to Luke Bowden. Tampa Bay again, just content it seems to maybe possess a little bit, slow it down, force the kickers to come out, and really try to kill this game off as we have entering the 82nd minute here. Not much time for the Richmond Kickers to make something happen.
Yeah, you can see when the kickers are in possession now, Tampa Bay is going to drop off, and the kickers are going to have space to get the ball wide, and they've got to serve it into the box. They're going to have 4 or 5 guys in the box and try and make something happen. So got to try and get service into those guys.
Schaefer now on the ball once again, tracked by Chris Durkin, plays it all the way back to Low, looking long. And again, dealt with calmly by Milan Roberts, but now it's back with Deshaun Brown. Brown playing wide. It looked like he was trying to find Jones. Instead, that ball was cut out by Fred Owusu-Sekire. He finds Chris Durkin. Alex Lee trying to make that run down the right-hand side. Georgi Christoph does well to track, cut off that pass, and now force Durkin to drop all the way back. Good defensive work there from both Georgi Christoph and Schaefer.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Shinosky again on the ball. Doesn't have much. Finds Milan Roberts. Tampa Bay, it essentially looks like a back 5 to me. Maybe kind of a back 6. Really keeping those numbers behind the ball, really inviting the Richmond Kickers to have to do something. Finley Wyatt left that one. Thought maybe Braden Troyer was a little bit closer, to no avail. Good defensive work there from, I believe that was King, who shepherds that ball out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, again, if the kickers pick the ball up and Tampa Bay continues to drop off, they may be forced to take a few shots from distance. But again, saw with the goal for Tampa Bay, take some shots from in and around the box, and good things might happen.
Mm-hmm. So the kickers have made their 3 changes. This is how they're going to round out this game. Who do you think is that veteran leader in there who can kind of take this game by the scruff of the neck for the kickers and really try to make something happen, really keep the team motivated, keep them going?
I think you got Owusu's just come in with some fresh legs. He's been on the score sheet a couple of times this season, so hopefully he'll pull some strings in there. Got other players like Alex Lee that are going to be fired up to get a goal here, and then he may even throw a centre back up there with one of those guys. May send Milan or Connor just to help out and win some aerial balls.
Still no big change of shape for the kickers as that ball out wide for Finley Wyatt, who can't keep it in bounds, but it wouldn't have mattered even if he had, because he was offside. Assistant referee on the near side here puts that flag in the air, and it's going to be another free kick for Tampa Bay. I'm sure they won't be in too much of a rush to get this one back in play.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see get the ball back into Chris Durkin's feet, into Owusu's feet, play down the middle, and then as Tampa Bay squeezes around them, that's going to open up the space for out on the wings. So I'd like to see him play down the middle a little bit more here, and then find a wide ball in to get the service into the box.
It also seems like when Durkin is getting the ball, same for Owusu Sekire, they're getting it maybe 10 yards on their own side of the field, and then they're having to push it forward or try to find a pass that isn't really there. I think they need to be trying to get the ball into Tampa Bay's half much faster to put Tampa Bay on their heels just a little bit more. But instead it's Tampa Bay with possession. Savage spreads the ball wide, finds King. King to Jones. Jones under a lot of pressure from Braden Troyer. Braden Troyer eventually wins that ball. Good work from him. Finds Raul Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks for Frank Teyu, but Collins is across, reads that one well. And Teyu blocks the clearance, but will put it out then for a goal kick for Tampa Bay. A little bit better there from the Richmond Kickers. Really nice work from Braden Troyer. You wouldn't know he's been on the field for these 90 minutes. I think he might be the fittest player the Richmond Kickers have.
Yeah, Braden's been a horse since he's come to the Richmond Kickers. He's already made himself a fan favorite, and you know he's going to give 110% every time he's out there.
I think he would cement his status as fan favorite if he's able to find the back of the net here. But time to do so is limited. Only 4 minutes and change remaining in regulation for the Kickers to try to make something happen. Pickens takes that goal kick long. Met at midfield by Finley Wyatt. Plays it off of Jones. Jones is able to collect, but Finley Wyatt wins that ball back. Wyatt finds Frank Teyu. Teyu with a good turn and hold up play to Raul Gonzalez. Gonzalez doesn't have much help with him, so plays wide to Finley Wyatt. Wyatt again looking for that long ball, but can't get his hips around it, puts it out of bounds. I'm pretty sure he won't be too thrilled with that effort, but some good interplay from the Kickers, just lacking that final product at the end.
Yeah, again, getting the ball out to where they need to, and then it just comes down to that little bit of quality right at the end. Obviously, Finley's going to be disappointed with that. Hopefully, if he gets another opportunity, he can put in some quality service for these guys in the box.
Especially because, as I talked about with that deadly left foot, you expect him to be in there specifically for that delivery. So I think that's his second or third one that we've seen maybe not make the contact he would have liked.
Yeah, and it's not about putting it right on a guy's head. It's about just putting the ball into a good space, you know, into a dangerous space. Makes it very difficult for the defenders, and anything can happen.
I think to go with the cliche, put it in the mixer, see what
That's
happens.
right.
Back away from the fence and let the stadium personnel do their job.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and then follow them on Twitter at USL.
Good overhead clearance from Chris Durkin. The ball eventually plays back to the Richmond Kickers. Braden Troyer now looking long for Frank Teyu. Teyu does well to hold that ball up, but instead it spills, and now it's Tampa Bay flicking it on. Again, really not trying to make too much happen, just trying to make sure the Kickers aren't able to establish comfortable possession in Tampa Bay's half. Ball played long. Good interception there by Georgia Christoph. Bowden now plays the ball, finds Savage. Savage, not much pressure at all in midfield, able to turn. Lots of space there for Tampa Bay. The Kickers getting a little bit stretched. Savage again on the ball.
It's very frustrating as a player when you're down a goal and don't have possession of the ball and you're chasing after it, defending. You obviously want the ball, you want to be attacking, creating chances.
Bowden now on the ball, finds Schaefer. Slow pressure from the Kickers. Tampa Bay not looking to rush too much. Bowden, I think, maybe tried to find that ball for Schaefer, but couldn't, so instead finds Christoph again with time to turn, pick his head up. Not much pressure from the Kickers, really sitting off now, which is a bit of a surprise for me, given that they really need to win this ball back. But do you think this is a smarter tactic for the Kickers, just not make sure they don't get caught out?
Yeah, I think there's probably some tired legs out there too, so obviously makes it pretty difficult. Like I said, when you're chasing and you're down a goal, it makes it very tough.
Good work there on the far side for Tampa Bay. Kickers, I think you're absolutely right. You can see those tired legs. Joe Cole, as soon as he plays that ball, goes down, gets a bit of a breather. Hands on hips. I think Joe Cole is pretty gassed now, but I'm expecting him to see this one out. Tampa Bay happy to keep possession, move that ball around. Georgia Christoph now challenged by Fred Owusu Sekire, who comes away with that ball. Owusu picks his head up, can't find much, so instead plays wide to Sunday Jane. Jane again forced back, plays to Chris Durkin, picking the ball up about 20 yards from midfield. Now trying to get forward on the Richmond kickers. Milan Roberts plays into the feet of Raul Gonzalez. Gonzalez able to turn. But that ball blocked out by the official.
Yeah, lucky it came back to the kickers there. It could have been a counter-attack for Tampa Bay.
Owusu Sakiri now able to find Alex Lee out wide in the channel. Christoph does well to cover and gets a block on that cross. Owusu Sakiri collects now. Schaefer up to pressure. Ball all the way back to Shinosky, and I can't imagine Tampa will be too aggressive in this press here. Tampa Bay doing really well to keep their shape, not let anything develop. Frank Teyu there tried to be a little bit crafty with that cutback. Tampa Bay was having none of it, and now it's again cleared and headed back into play by Milan Roberts. He's done a fair amount of that this game, Milan has. And it looks like there was a little bit of a hands in the back, a little bit of a collision off the ball by Chris Durkin. Free kick for Tampa Bay.
Like to see some of these midfielders get a little bit closer to Frank, so when the ball's coming into his feet, you know, they're working off him. Maybe it's just a little layoff and a shot, or that they're supporting a little bit closer to him.
It does seem like Teyu's getting pretty isolated up there when he does get the ball, trying to turn every single time. I think Tampa Bay are reading that one. 4 minutes of extra time here at City Stadium. 4 minutes for the kickers to try to make something happen. 4 minutes for Tampa Bay to try to make sure something doesn't happen. Christoph does well there to hold that ball up under pressure, find Joe Cole. Joe Cole drops to Schaefer. Schaefer under pressure himself, just that slow possession. Christoph eventually forcing it out of bounds for another throw-in, and now we'll have another change for Tampa Bay, their final change of this game. But not happening yet. Referee initially stopped play, now allows play to resume. That substitution not coming yet. Schaefer again able to evade that pressure, drives forward, not much of a challenge for the Richmond kickers. Schaefer keeps the ball, now has 3 different players on him, finds Joe Cole. Joe Cole wide to Bowden. Chris Durkin across to try to help out defensively. Instead, Christoph finds space in the channel. Will look to pull Owusu Sakiri out wide, and then puts that ball in, and it will come off of Owusu Sakiri for a corner kick for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Credit to the Red Army, you can still hear them over there being as loud as they've been the entire game, even with their team down a goal. Shows you how much this team means to them.
It is pretty admirable. The Red Army always seem to be out in force and ready to go, and I guess they've got a social lubricant as well to help them with
yeah,
that.
They definitely do.
That vocal presence.
But it's nice to have those type of fans behind your team.
I imagine. Georgi Christoph now again on the ball. Finds Bowden. Bowden picks his head up. I think we'll look to just kill this game off a little bit, hold that ball in the channel, plays it into the box, calmly taken by Chris Durkin. Durkin now with the ball, tries to get it to Finley White. Finley White keeps it in bounds, but is immediately under pressure. Drops to Alex Lee. Alex Lee finds Sonny Jane in the middle. Richmond really struggling to get this ball forward and with possession. That long ball headed clear there by Tampa Bay. Back into the feet of Konrad Shinosky, who drops to Fred Owusu Sakiri. Owusu Sakiri looking long, tries to split the defense for Frank Teyu. Instead finds Tampa Bay's defenders. They then find Fred Owusu Sakiri. Richmond still with possession, but not able to make much happen. Shinosky now looking for the ball in the channel for Alex Lee. Alex Lee in on it. Looks like he might have forced that one off of the defender, but good work there from Luke Bowden to come across and make sure there was no contact. It will be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they've sent Malin up to hopefully win some balls in the air. It'd be nice to, maybe knock a ball into him to knock down to a midfielder, get a shot off.
Still that third and final substitution coming for Tampa Bay. It looks like it will be Joe Cole. We talked about him a moment ago. Hands on hips, bent down, trying to get his breath back. I think maybe Tampa Bay just waiting until they can kill the game off a little bit more to make that substitution. Ball in there for Darwin Jones. Looked like he was going to be offside, and now the flag goes up, although Jones never touched it, so it could have stayed live. I think that's maybe what Matt Turner thought had happened. Instead, we'll have to take it back and make sure he plays this ball from a dead ball position. Turner looking long for the head of Frank Teyu. Teyu can't make it contact. Tampa Bay able to clear. Fred Owusu Sakiri there to settle. No kickers really able to drop in. You basically have 5 kickers players stretching that back line, so kickers forced into long balls consistently. Ball to Teyu. Teyu with a volley, and it's in the back of the net! A lovely finish from Frank Teyu on his debut. Takes the one-time volley out of the air into the back of the net, and it's 1-1 in the dying minutes here at City Stadium.
great finish, long ball in, nodded down. Tricky ball to hit this one. He's done fantastic to put it into the back of the net.
And I think Frank Teyu, as you talked about moments ago, aware of where his bread is buttered, makes a 120-yard jog to that far side to celebrate with the Red Army. We'll get a replay here in just a second, but a lovely take there from Frank Teyu. Good ball in from Chris Durkin. Nice hold-up play by Milan Roberts. That's why he's there. And that lovely flying volley from just the top of the box there to bring this one level. 1-1 here at City Stadium.
Yep, that's exactly why we put Milan up there, to win some balls in the air.
This goal
nods it down, and Frank with a fantastic volley.
This goal presented by Draper Aiden Athletics, driven for success. Deli, how much technical ability goes into that one? How much skill, how much just like forethought do you have to be able to pull that one off and hit that one with the perfect mechanics?
I think there's not much thought going into it. I mean, I think he's fully committed. He knows he wants to hit it on target, and it's one of those.
And it's one of those that ends the game. Full time here at City Stadium. The Kickers look to have lost this one, but able to pull it back, courtesy of a lovely Frank Teyu volley on his debut, having signed earlier in the week. I think Lee Kalishaw will probably be happy with that bit of business. Will the Richmond Kickers be pleased with this result? And same question for Tampa Bay.
I think anytime you're losing a game with seconds to go and you score a goal, it definitely feels like a win. Obviously, you want to pick up the 3 points at home, but when you're losing a goal and 30 seconds left in the game, I think it will feel like a win for the Kickers.
There we are. Well, we'll take a breather here, collect our thoughts, and we'll be back to round this one out in just a few moments.
We ask you to let them do their job and please stay away from the area.
Hey, congratulations, guys. You know you guys all get one, right?
CBS 6 This Morning, Emmy winner for Morning Newscast.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
I'm gonna leave when I cross your line, standing high. This moment in time, gonna push through the shine. Gotta hold on tonight, 'cause I'm leaving life. This moment in time, this moment in time.
Choose between 1, 7, and 30-day unlimited ride passes. Pick the pass that's right for you and get ready to connect.
Welcome back to City Stadium, where we have just seen the Richmond Kickers come back from 1-0 down, a 1-0 second half deficit in the final seconds to equalize a 1-1 final score. Matthew Delicott joining me, Taylor Rockwell here to round it all out. Deli, you said it felt like a win at the end of the game here. So you think the Kickers are going to be pleased with that one, and do you think we're going to see Frank Teyu maybe making his way into the starting rotation now?
Yeah, I think that's obviously why they have signed him, to come in and score goals. He scored a fantastic debut goal to salvage a point for the team. And like I said, I think the free kick may have been a little bit harsh that they scored on, Tampa Bay's goal. But again, we had a free kick down in the same spot. They capitalized on it. We didn't at that moment, so it's kind of indicative of how the Kickers' season has been a little bit, but they're going to be very pleased to pull off a late goal and get a tie out of this game. Well,
let's take a look at those second half goals. You see the fallout from that foul, and it's well taken by Schaefer. Gets I'm going to say helpful deflection there off that wall. Looks like maybe it comes off Anthony Grant.
Yeah.
Can't quite see from that angle. But as you said, you got to take your opportunities. That's exactly what Schaefer does. Puts Tampa Bay up 1-0.
That's right. And again, maybe a little bit contentious with the free kick, but he's buried it and put them up 1-0.
And here we are, the equalizer. Great volley from 18 yards out from Frank Teyu.
Yeah, good clipped in ball from Chris Durkin. Milan with the knockdown. And then first time finish, fantastic finish to salvage a point for the Kickers.
If you've seen his highlight videos, he's done that in indoor soccer. He's done that in outdoor soccer as well, and obviously he's done that once again tonight. That's a definite way to start your Richmond Kickers career. Were you fortunate enough to score on your debut, or did it take a couple games?
You know what? I'm trying to remember back. I think I might have actually scored on my debut, but I can't be sure. I'll have to check with Shelley so she can go back and look in the books.
Understated, my friend. Understated. I like it. Well, thank you to everyone for joining us this evening to see the Richmond Kickers play host to the Tampa Bay Rowdies, this one finishing 1-1. Thank you very much to Matthew Delicott for joining me in the booth tonight.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right, well, we'll be back next week for the Richmond Kickers' next home game. Until then, we will talk to you soon.